I'm going live. Hey guys, welcome to Juice Box. I'm your girl, Miss Liz. How y'all doing out there? I got my host Yolanda Hunt, my host. Hello, my guest, casting director Yolanda Hunt in the building. We are going to be talking about all the casting and everything that's going on. So we're going to talk about what she's doing, get y'all some juice on y'all acting career. And hey, let's see what we got going on. Come on in, Yolanda. Where you at?
And hey,
Hey, girl. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm seeing. I'm trying to see if we have people cracking in the building, but I don't know if they're in the building yet. So
I don't either.
I
But
don't
we
not
here.
know. I said, like, where y'all at?
We are here though.
I know. Let me see. I see a couple of comments. Let me go to
There,
hold
like,
on.
there we go. We go comments. There it is.
You see the comments?
Hey, hi. Hey, Monte, how are you? Okay, there we go. We in the building.
What? What's up?
You talking to me? I hear you.
Okay, so you can. I'm over here like, okay, Yolanda. So I feel like there's a delay.
I can hear you fine, but I probably is. There's some feedback, so that's what it is. It's the feedback we're hearing.
Do I have to do it like this?
There it is. No feedback.
Yeah. So there.
I couldn't. We didn't hear the feedback when you had that on.
But can you? But could you hear me?
Yeah.
But I couldn't hear y'all. See, this is that BS I'm talking about.
So you can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you guys now.
Okay, great.
No feedback. No feedback. What's
There we
up with it,
go.
Yolanda? How you doing today?
I am wonderful and blessed and happy to be here. Thank you for having me on the Juice Box.
Okay, I see a delay. I'm looking at it through YouTube, and I just see a delay. But I mean, it's my first time going live on YouTube, so it is what it is. So I'm just gonna wing it and do what I gotta do.
Let's go.
Okay, so Yolanda, so let's talk about it. How'd you get started in casting?
I started about 30 years ago. I worked on this project called Poetic Justice, which I'm paying homage to today, as you can see, with Robbie Reed, casting director, and the director, John Singleton. He gave me my first shout out. And I kind of got bit by the bug when I was doing that. And it's just been great ever since.
You got to put um I don't know if you need to put on you probably don't have to put on headphones because I can hear a feedback. Or what it is this whole situation is with this whatever. I'm gonna just talk because I can hear myself and then you. So you got started with Robbie Reed. What was one of the first projects you started with?
Poetic Justice was my first project.
How was that?
That was amazing. Like I said, I'm paying homage today with my Poetic Justice braids. I got it going on. But that was my first project. It was the best experience because John gave me the opportunity to not only do casting, but I also was in production wise going into, so I was Regina King's stand in. So I got to see, what the lighting did and what grips did and what hair and makeup and stylists and everything did. So considering that was my first project, he gave me the opportunity, to be like, is casting what you really want to do? And of course, I mean, I knew that that was what I wanted to do, but it gave me the opportunity to see how films are shot.
Okay. So that's funny. I didn't know you did. I didn't know you was doing stand up. Somebody actually asked me, was you an actress prior to
Stand-in.
that?
I was her stand-in.
Okay. So did you ever do acting?
No, I was just her stand-in.
No, I heard you, but recently someone asked,
Do
okay,
I do stand-up?
no, they asked me that you doing background work with Fred Johnson.
I mean, I did casting in, music videos. Yeah, I did that a long time ago. Me and Anissa Williams, along with Fred, we were like the three amigos when it came to the casting game back in the '90s. In the 2000s, we had the whole video game on lock. Like, I mean, down from Def Jam, Death Row, to I mean, Dr. Dre, everyone. We did all the videos.
So what exactly are you doing right now?
I currently just had a couple projects come out this year. I had a project come out on Lifetime called Safe Room, with Boris Kojo as his directorial debut, starring Nicole Ari Parker and Drea D'Amato, along with Boris starring as well. And just recently also Inside the Black Box, which I'm really excited about, with the Emmy award winning Joe Morton, along with the celebrity coach, casting coach, Tracy Moore. So it's just been a great ride. I did the I got all the hosts, I got all the guests for the show, and I also did the audience. I handpicked the audience, and the audience are all actors or creators, inspirers. So it's like it's for us, so that we can see a reflection and get people's stories of how they got where they are. So it's been it's a great ride, and I'm playing on season 2. We're talking about it now, so that's going to be a great thing to get into.
Okay, so that's one of the things you're doing right now. Yes, you're now located. You started in Los Angeles. You're now located in New York, right? So let's talk about your workshop that you started.
Oh yes, so
For all the
I
actors out there, I need
yes,
you guys to, yes.
a lot of people don't know, back in like 2013, I started to get this feeling like, um, people aren't getting, some kind of something tangible that they needed to hear from a casting director, a working casting director. So to get in front of me, I felt like I wanted to give, you know, the fundamentals, or just give you what you need to hear to get that callback. Because there's just certain things I think that actors do to defeat themselves. So I started coaching, and I got really busy with work, so I kind of, when I was doing one on the Miami, it kind of like put me on the back burner. But the pandemic come that really put me in the forefront of, like, doing lives, and I was having, I was doing free Zooms, and it just got me connected with people, and wanting to teach and coach, and really get in there. um Unfortunately, this is going to be my last year, because the girl has to level up, and I will be, CSA and union, and unfortunately those are some stipulations that you can't do. But I can be a guest to someone, and I can talk to you guys, and I can still give you those fundamentals. But for right now, I'm on the tail end of that. But that's my level up. So I really enjoy doing the workshops here.
But you have to level up. You can't stay the same. If you don't level up, then how do you get to where you're trying to go?
Absolutely.
So another thing on to what is some good advice that you can give to some of these actresses or actors that's out here pursuing acting? As
I would
far
say
okay, go on. I'm sorry.
just from a beginner's POV. Everyone wants, I need an agent, I need a manager, I need an agent, I need a manager. First of all, you need to create content on yourself. You have to make something alluring for them to be able to want to represent you. So in the meantime, what you need to do is, subscribe to Actors Access, or to, Extras Access, so you can put yourself out there, so you can get an idea what it is to be on set for 8 to 10 hours, and also get the just just being in the realm of being on TV. And you can submit for yourself. So that's what you got to do. But pay attention when you're submitting. Read that description well. If it does not apply to you, do not submit, because we remember those things. Because when I put out something on a breakdown and I say African American female 20s to 30s, I don't expect to see males submitting, and I get it all the time.
Right.
So pay attention to your demo. If you know who you like, what you can deliver, pay attention to that, and submit yourself. And then you start creating content. And then another angle, people feel like, oh, I can't do a reel yet because I haven't booked any jobs. Get a person, a partner to do a scene with, reenact other old episodes, old shows, something original, and
Okay.
just we create that reel. But the reel should not be longer than a minute, because within 30 seconds we should be able to know what you're capable of.
Okay. So do you think, this is a good question, because I always feel like being a background actress, do you think being a background actress is a good thing if you're pursuing a serious career, like I mean, yeah. Do you think
Um,
you have to think about it?
that kind of question I would have said absolutely no, 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
But times have changed. There's so
Yes.
many different avenues and platforms and elements of how to build your career, that yeah, I now, I mean, I want people to be able to do the extra work, because you need to know what it is to be on set, because some people are not ready. And if you don't know, and then you're like out there, and it's like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Oh, so this is where a mark is. Oh, okay. Well, so this is what blocking means. So you got to know what that means. So yeah, do the extra work so you can get an idea of what that is. But don't pigeonhole yourself. That's what I tell people to do. Don't get comfortable on that check, or because you're
Don't
being
be
called all the time to do extra work. Don't get comfortable, because that's when you start to feel like you're like, oh, I'm not acting, I'm not getting out there, because you're taking the first thing that you're getting is, oh, I can get this extra work. Make sure you're still balancing out and getting those auditions and submitting yourself for speaking roles.
So do you think that people do, if they do extra work for a long time, because I've seen people doing extra work, background work. Let me say not extra work. I'm gonna call it
Background.
background work,
Yeah, it is.
because
They're
without the
background talent.
background, you don't have a scene. So
It's background talent. Yes, I
okay,
mean,
so background talent. Do you think people doing background talent for a long period of time get you stuck in that, and that sometimes that's all they see you as is background talent?
yeah. If you don't consider, if you're not putting yourself in front of us, doing lines,
Is
so
there
it means like you just want to be a professional
is
background talent, and that's fine.
no, that's okay. But if you're
It is
pursuing
okay, because if you're not that person that has a personality to want to do the lines, or get because on set you never know what happens. People get bumped up all the time. They can get under fives.
absolutely.
They get they have no lines, and they could get some lines. And also with creating the relationship. So if you are like on a show that's like a cop show, and
Okay.
you're like they've created you as being a cop. Now that they've seen you, and now they keep on bringing you back, show that you can now really do something. So when they're asking you to do a certain thing, they know you can take direction, because then that director's gonna be like, okay, well, they can take direction, maybe I'll give them that five, under five, or yes sir line, whatever. So you got to think about those things, that the directors are looking at you on set. And if you are doing that, if that's what you are, creating yourself around being a character, if you're doing something like that, then yeah, I mean, allow yourself to be able to get bumped up, and then you never know. You still have to be in front of the camera doing lines for us to be able to pay attention to you.
So what makes a leading actor?
I can't say. I
You
can't
know,
say.
like you what makes a person a leading role actor?
Um,
Because it's like I be seeing
you
some
know,
people.
there's so many variables to that, Liz. I could answer that question in so many kind of ways, and it really depends on the role. I mean, it just depends on if a person can come in and give a natural performance and knock it out the box. Whether I'm being drama, comedy, emotional, anger, whatever it is that puts me in that same space of being believable. That's a
Mhm.
leading actor. And another asset to being a leading actor is that you're versatile, because when you're doing a scene, sometimes you got to do it 4 or 5 times. But if you start being robotic, then you're not a workable actor. So you gotta know, there's got to be a little versatility to keep the momentum going and making the director. The more you're evolving as you keep on doing it.
Yeah. So what
Those
about,
are leading actors.
because let's talk about stereotype casting, because you have people that will take a role, and now every time they have that role, they're casting them in the same character. You know what I'm
I have
saying?
to honestly say that the best people that had really answered this question was Tobias Trevelyan on one of the episodes of Inside the Black Box. I believe it was episode 3 or 4, and him and China Lane were on the show together, and he said he gets the bad guy roles. He got typecast early on being in the bad guy role, so he had to really change the game. And we saw him on Empire playing that a music executive, and love interest to Jesse. He had to change it up so people could realize that he was more than just the gangster guy. And then he was the cop with the loving husband with Selena Johnson in the movie he did just recently did. So there's you have to learn to say no when they start keep on giving you those roles. That's just the bottom line. It's not about a check at times. It's about really your credibility and how you want to progress and be portrayed in this game.
But as an actress, or look, actor,
Mm-hmm.
whichever one it is, you have to work, because sometimes you have to work in between
You
those
do, but then
jobs.
I mean, it really it depends on you. I can't. Nobody can make that decision but you. If you want to keep on taking those roles on because you want to get that check, then you're not going to and then people are just not going to look at you and expand. I mean, Regina King did it. She turned down plenty of roles until she got that one role. And she did Jerry Maguire, and people started taking her seriously and look
Yeah,
at her as a wife. And then she became Will Smith's wife, and she was Chris Rock's opposite. You
it
got
is.
to look at it. You have to change the dynamics of
But
people's
she's
minds.
also been in the game since she was
But she
young.
wasn't getting those. I mean, she wasn't getting it. Like, she had to make a transition from TV to film. That is not easy.
Absolutely.
That is not easy. And she had to pay her dues. She auditioned for those roles. She didn't. She wasn't just getting offered those roles. Those roles are still being auditioned. So when she got to the point where after higher learning and the roles of the boys in the hood character kept on still coming to her, so that you got good people around you and good reps around you. It's like, no, we're trying to create you a future, a foundation to build from, not be on the same playing field.
Okay, so what are some of the misconceptions of casting?
That we're all mean. I
You
think that people
guys,
get. I think that people get. They get it. They get it. We're not approachable, and I can't say that. I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for myself only. But I'm an approachable person. I like to give back. My whole point is I'm doing myself a disservice if I was to have somebody come in and audition for me and I'm rigid, because then that makes it hard for you to perform. And then I'm not going to be able to get anybody to, bring back to my director to give them a call back. So it's
okay,
like, it's just everybody has their own approach on how they have a working relationship with an actor. I just make an actor feel very comfortable. It's
okay.
not like, hey, best friend, but we are comfortable enough to where I'm going to give you your 3 to 5 minutes to show me what you got.
Do you have those people who are trying to be your friend just because you're a casting director?
I think that was early on. I think that, early on when I came into the game, it was like I was so hungry. It was just like, oh yeah, everybody, this, and that. And then you really had to learn how to weed out who was, really trying to help you elevate and who was just trying to elevate themselves upon you. So, you learn kind of early on.
So is there such thing as a casting couch?
I can't speak for myself. Oh, this is really the juice box, huh?
Ow! So you don't know if there's a such
I
thing as a
mean, that trend
casting
has been like
couch.
floating for years. There's no actual couch that is a casting couch. No, no, there's not really an actual couch. But
I know it's not an actual couch, but there is
I
a such
mean,
thing as casting
you know,
couch.
I can't say, that I've had to experience anything like that or work in an office that did, but I mean, it floated around early on in my career of people that used this
Rumors.
this um this credibility because actors want to know a casting director or associate or anybody in the casting office to an advantage, and it's just and that's not even just in casting. You can see it across the board. in the whole Me Too movement, with producers and directors, and just how they feel like having a level of power will give them what they need as an advantage. And no, I don't. There's no casting couch here.
I know it's
It's all
not
about
one
talent.
there.
It's all about talent.
Question though. So
Yes.
when you guys are casting, are you guys looking at people's now, since it's different, times have changed? Are you
Hmm.
looking at how many followers they have?
I don't. That does not define your talent. Let's be clear.
Okay.
Let's be clear. Social media does not define who you are in talent. Social media is there as a platform to put yourself out there to give you exposure so that people can see you, like myself, but it doesn't define who you are. I'm not going to look at your followers. I'm not. I'll look at a reel before I look at your followers. That's just the
Because there's
bottom
been
line.
times, but it has been said that some people go in for auditions and people ask them, how many followers do you have?
And I would say the times have changed because unfortunately this is the life we're living in right now. We're living in IG and TikTok. 10 years ago, no, that would not have been a factor when a producer or director is asking me how many followers do they have. But yeah, if it's an independent film, more than likely they're going to be looking at what the followers are because it's an indie. So they want to see who I'm going to get that can bring in the numbers and people, who's watching and where we can hit demographically. So now those things are coming to play because people are allowing themselves to be exposed on this platform like that.
Okay, let's get into it because social media has become this big thing that everyone's a star on social media. But if they shut it
How?
down today,
How? You are not a star by a visual picture or a 2-second reel.
well, I
That does
don't
not
know.
make you a star.
Well, you
And
know
that's
what
what I
happened?
want people to get out of their head. That don't thinking that is people are capitalizing against sponsors are doing that. There's all different platforms now. There's different levels of how entertainment is being well rounded. But an actor, a thespian, a true, actor, the core, we do the work. You take the classes, you get the lessons, you get the teachings. You don't be on IG. I'm not
You
going
don't
to
be on
cast a
I.
movie from IG. I'm not.
I
Or
gotta
from
put my
TikTok or
shades back
Facebook.
on.
I'm not going to do it. And if I'm in a level of casting directors that I know, Kim Harden's not going to be doing it. And I know Robbie's not doing it. I mean, they're not, we're just not on social media casting folks.
So speaking of Robbie, I'm glad you brought her up. Let me know of some people who inspired you as a casting director.
Oh, God. I mean, I've had a wonderful career. I started off with the best. Robbie Reed was my first out the gate casting director that gave me the opportunity. So she's like my first and foremost biggest mentor. Um, she helped me navigate how to become who I wanted to be in this. And then that in the interim of I can pull that off of Kim Harden and Leah Daniels Butler and Risa Brayman Garcia. I give Risa Brayman Garcia the props because she was the only casting director that ever took a chance on me that was giving me mainstream films like Speed 2 and Hard Rain. So I was able to show my talent that I'm just not urban. I know talent across the board. It doesn't, I don't pigeonhole me in urban talent.
Okay. Okay, let me name a time when you made a mistake in your career.
Um, I made a mistake of the thinking that I was safe.
Okay.
I made the mistake of thinking that I was safe because I was in there through the EP that I was safe and I was untouchable, but I wasn't.
And when you say that, you
I got
mean
fired.
she got fired. Okay. Now it ain't funny. It's not funny.
It's not, but I'm gonna tell you, it was the best learning lesson that I could have ever gotten early on in my casting career was
Okay.
being fired. You can never feel like you're safe. Like you can be too comfortable and untouchable.
I feel like that's in any career though.
That isn't any career,
Unless
but
you own your
when
own.
I can only say that, but speaking of how I got put in my position when I did at that time and how it played out to why I got fired.
And there you have it. She
Yeah.
got fired. So So basically, you learn from your mistakes and you move
Absolutely.
forward. And what was the changes that you did make?
Um, I started to listen more. I started to listen more and not think that I knew it all.
Okay.
And it humbled me so much that I got my first big job working with Risa Brayman Garcia when I got fired from that particular that project.
Okay. So that was a blessing.
It was a blessing in disguise because I was an assistant and I got hired as an associate. I got fired as an assistant and got hired as an associate.
Oh, so you see how one
How
door
God was
closed and
working
the
because
other one open.
he knew my worth. So evidently I needed to get off of the comfortable train, as you could say, and I leveled up.
Okay. And you've been moving forward ever since.
Absolutely.
And how was your journey in New York?
Um, this journey, I wanted to put myself here. I left 18 years ago. I left Los Angeles, and when I came out here. Reality TV was so more prevalent than scripted. So it was just such a big switch. Didn't know nothing about reality. So I did the low level. I came in as a receptionist. Within the week of me being at my job at BBC, they realized this girl is not a receptionist. She knows way too much. So they leveled me up to office manager. So I was overseeing all of the shows that they were doing at that time. And I learned so much from being behind the scenes on that I knew that I was only a matter of time that I was going to get in the casting, that people were going to start hearing my name and getting to know me. And then slowly but surely it happened. Within 6 years, I was at BET and I worked there. I was in-house casting and consultant for all of the shows, The Game, Read Between the Lines, Second Generation Wayans, all of the shows they had going on. I did all the New York casting. And so that just, set the tone.
Okay.
And it's just, now, and then the coaching, that was just a whole other level up from that. And now, I'm pretty much the go-to for folks when they want New York casting.
And that's a blessing. So how do you keep yourself motivated though?
Um, wow. I mean, just, I do coach. I have one client that I coach regularly, and he's
Okay.
like my full-time client. So I coach him weekly. So that keeps me on my toes of coaching that definitely keeps me on my toes. And I try to, still stay, as busy as possible. I do have projects on that are in, they're right there at the light. It's just waiting for it to get green. That's it. So we got about 3 projects, that I have right now that I'm doing some preliminary casting for.
Well, that's pretty good. So how are you taking care of yourself during this pandemic? Are you getting rest? How are you taking care of yourself, like self-care
You
as a casting
know,
director?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I might be one of the few that it didn't bother. Like
Oh,
being inside, like it didn't really. I didn't get the cabin fever. I didn't get the whole I'm losing my mind. I just created a space for me to be able to work. So I got me my ring lights. I was still working during the pandemic, so it was like the pandemic kind of like was a better for me because now people could realize that I could do stuff at home and I didn't have to be in the same state to be a casting director. Like you didn't have to hire me to be in LA to do an LA project. I don't have to be in
right.
Atlanta to do an Atlanta project. I have to be in Chicago or Detroit or DC now because I can do it right here. And the platforms that I use,
Okay.
like Breakdown Services and Cast It, I mean they leveled up and made it very easy for cast directors like myself to keep it going. And during the pandemic, I was doing table reads, so that's how I created and cultivated some relationships with producers like Dominique Telson with
Okay.
the Scoop Films, which I'm currently working with. So I kept it going, and then Regina called me um, towards the end of 2020 when we were just like that, coming, kind of coming out of it, like in the space of we're trying to.
Yeah.
I got Zoom where it happens, and that was the. I mean, I had no idea that phone call was going to change the course of my casting director career because doing those reenactments, I had no
Uh-huh.
idea that I was on everybody's lips because I'm here in New York. Had
Right.
no idea people were talking about me so much in LA about did you see the reenactment of the Golden Girls and Friends and A Different World? Like this girl got all these people for free. Like how did she do that? And I'm getting A-list actors like, we're talking Sterling K. Brown and Ryan Pathé and Debbie Allen and Stormy Reed. I'm like, I'm getting all of these great people, Tessa Thompson. And they were just like, how is this happening? But people wanted to be a part of that project because Ava DuVernay and Lena Waithe were spearheading it. So who wouldn't? And it was all females, all female driven, behind the scenes production, all female directors. I had Gina, Prince Blythewood, Sally Richardson Whitfield, Debbie Allen. They all did the directing. So it was just a great little pedestal of like, oh, coming out of this pandemic, like, okay, well, this girl's gonna start working, and I've been working ever since.
Okay, so what do you see your vision of? I mean, how do you see the vision for your company in a few years? Like,
My 5-year plan is,
okay,
I've got it. I've definitely been thinking about this. I'm making a move from the West Coast, from the East Coast back to the West Coast. So I am moving to Las Vegas. So I feel like I want to open a school like there.
oh, okay, like a workshop.
Yes, and I can have instructors there do that, and I come in as guests and speak because I still want people to be able to to be tangible and touchable to me, and be able to get advice and be able to help if I can. And then of course I will be closer to LA if I need to do other projects. But that is basically what I really want to do, is set up my school in Las Vegas and be closer to my family.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing. So, what else do you have in the works? Is there any jobs out there you're casting for that people can submit to right now?
um I would say in a couple of weeks there will be.
Whoa,
Yes,
that's some good things.
yes.
Okay.
After the meetings I have this week, well, be on the lookout for some breakdowns.
I'm gonna be submitting my pitch. I'm about to send them to you right now.
What? You better.
No,
And if you send it,
no, wait, wait.
you insider,
Wait a minute, this is what's funny. So I was pursuing my acting career. How many years ago? Okay, I'm still pursuing it, but not like, when I was young.
actively pursuing it. You just want a different avenue. It's just a different avenue of it.
But it's just funny because when I was actively pursuing, Yolanda, what was your advice to me? Because
Okay, so
this is something you can give everybody, because this is what they're always doing. And I was doing this. So
and people are guilty of. And just a little background. I can tell Liz this because me and her, we go back. We're really close friends. And I had noticed at a time where I had got Liz auditions, and I wanted her to come in on a movie that I was doing back in the day with Robbie Reed, and Liz didn't show up to the audition.
I didn't.
No. And so that's why I got mad at you. And I said, you up here taking all these goddamn headshots. You becoming a professional headshot taker.
I didn't know where
your ass will not get over there and get outside and do what you got to do. And I think that gave her so much fire up under her ass. She was like, you know what? I'm out here doing this. I need to start doing something with it. And that's why I'm really proud of you doing because this is your lane. This is really where you connect. You have no filter. You can be you. And I love it because this is a platform that really shows who you are. I feel like back in the day, somebody stole your personality when they created Sita, because that was you.
They did. They created
They did. I know it. I know it. Somebody was listening to you and was like, we're going to create a Sita out of Liz's voice, because I promise you.
But what? It's a whole lot of knockoffs out there, but there's only one. What Wendy say? There may be many,
but there can be only one.
Now, let me ask you, what is some advice you would give your younger self?
Don't rush. Take your time. I feel like if I took a little bit more time to really smell the flowers and really just revel in everything that I was so quick to get, then I probably really would have enjoyed it more.
Right, because even when I was pursuing my actor career when I was younger, it was more like, I need to get a job. I need, like, you would like, it's like a hustle, like anxiety.
Anxious. And it's like, you know what? If and that's something I would definitely tell my youngest. Like, if you just take your time, it's gonna come. You don't have to be so anxious, because if you really are determined you will make the sacrifices and it will come to you, because guess who's got you? God. That's all
And,
you need. That's
and
all
when
you
you're
need.
and when you're anxious, you always take a job. You start taking gigs, bootleg jobs that you shouldn't even take.
And you derailing yourself from what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you start to, it's like, oh, I need to make sure I pay this, but it's like, damn, I can do this other job, but this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but they can only pay me this amount. But this other job that I hate doing will pay me this amount. Who do you want, the misery, or do you want the accolade? Do you want the level up? Do you want that? I don't want to live in misery, me personally.
No, who
And
wants to live in
that's
misery?
the thing, sacrifices you have to make. That's all.
Well, this was great. So, where can the people find you, Yolanda? Where's your IG? Even though it's right there, I see it. Let's
Boom.
talk about your studio though, because I saw that's where it said. Are you teaching class in New York now? Or are you or
Well, I
what?
am doing only one-on-ones.
Okay.
So if anyone is inquiring about my one-on-one, you would email thecraftacting@gmail.com. But I have launched last year Yolanda Hunt Entertainment. So that's under my umbrella of doing my work, and I just continue to hope and pray and manifest even more great jobs and TV and film content. I did some producing last year, so I have a pilot presentation that I was a great be a part of with Mita Leacock and Eric Roberts, which we're selling right now.
Okay.
And I was a associate producer on it and the casting. So I'm really looking forward to leveling up on that next part of my career.
Oh, okay. So, with that being said, we are getting the juice and we are keeping it juicy. I think we have covered. Is there something that I didn't ask that maybe you might want to tell?
Um, I think you really covered all of the bases. I just one thing I want to just tell people that if you're an actor, just always remember you're one away. Don't ever feel discouraged, because I give actors the utmost respect. You guys accept rejection on a daily basis. You go in and on a regular basis and get auditions, and you die, and you get no's, no's, no's. So you get the utmost respect from me, because I won't always want to be the one to give you a yes. So just remember you're one away.
One away. Just keep going. Never give up. Keep pursuing. No matter what they tell you, do you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And get them headshots. Do you need headshots now?
Yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, they're more digital than they are, physical, but yeah, absolutely.
So before we leave, let me break it down. What do they need to do
Just
to
make
get it?
sure that you have, you have a good reel that is like under a minute, that's showing, highlighting real moments for you. Make sure that your headshot is something that we are you're consistent with. Even if you do have a hair change, like put in braids, we know that you go back to the same. Just make sure that it's consistent. We don't want to get a headshot where you have, super long, pretty hair, and then you come in an audition, it's like blonde and blue. Those are things that you want to make sure you stay away from, because I'm looking at your headshot and it's like, oh, this is not what the character is looking for. So just make sure that you pay attention to that, and always submit something that you're right for. Don't think it's because you think you're right for it. Know that you're right for it, because you're going to put it in your heart and you manifest it and you claim that job.
Just keep going.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And where can the people reach you? I see your IG handle right
Yeah.
there, but
I
some
look.
people might
I
can't see.
handle. I answer people on my IG. I have my Facebook is Yolanda Hunt Entertainment. My Twitter is Yolanda Hunt Entertainment. So I'm here for it.
All right, y'all. There you have it. We're about to get up out of here, but we're gonna keep it
Thank you,
juicy.
Avante, for telling me it was a great interview. I'm looking at the comments. September, you got it. I'm glad. I'm glad. Miss Hardison, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to look, Fab and 50. This is what we're doing. I'm out of here.
All right. Talk to you later. We're
Thank you
gonna
for
keep
having me,
it
Lizzie. Bye, you guys.
keep it juicy, y'all.
Keep it juicy.
Keep